Okay, good morning. So today we are going to talk about something that's very practical, no? So and very relevant, especially if you're thinking about a career in finance, accounting, or even just want to be more employable here in the Philippines and abroad. So this is the TESDA Bookkeeping NC3. No? So we have two phases today. So phase one, the first part is about TESDA, what bookkeeping NC3 is, and something called the Mutual Recognition Agreement. So, pakinggan po natin maigi yun. And then phase 2 is where we get to the actual basics of accounting, the debits and credits, and the different types of accounts. So don't worry, we're keeping this simple. This is an introduction and not an exam. Let us begin. So first, what is TESDA? Huh? TESDA stands for the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. So it is a Philippine government agency, and the job of TESDA is to oversee what we call the TVET, Technical Vocational Education and Training. So think of TESDA as the body that says, okay, so this person knows what they're doing, they set the standards, they develop and training programs, and most importantly, they assess and certify workers. So importante yun, no? So they are the ones that certify workers. So now TESDA issues what are called national certificates or NCs. So there are levels, so NC1, NC2, NC3, NC4. So for bookkeeping, we don't have NC1 and NC2 anymore. So it goes straight to NC3. That is the relevant one, no? So and one more thing, TESDA doesn't just matter locally. Through something called the Mutual Recognition Agreements, your TESDA certificate can be recognized, and in fact, it is recognized in other countries. So yeah, no? So it's valid for 5 years. Once na makuha mo yung assessment mo, it will stay for you with you for 5 years, and then after 5 years, nag-expire sa, all you need to do is just a renewal, which is easier than the first one. So this is very important for us because it's recognized in many countries, and sometimes it's even more recognized than your Six Sigma or your, lean accounting. So, yung mga training na nakukuha mo na nakikita mo sa mga internet, TESDA is much heavier than that. In fact, for some countries, yung masters gets only 1 point or PhD. Ang TESDA, mas mataas, no? 5 points minsan ang inaabot, no? Sa government, for example, they even value TESDA more than combine ng inyong masters and PhD. Ayan. So that's how important it is because this is competency based. So what exactly is bookkeeping NC3? So bookkeeping NC3 is a national certificate that qualifies you to work as a bookkeeper. A bookkeeper is the person who records, organizes, and maintains the financial transactions of a business. Every peso that comes in or goes out, it gets recorded. Yan, ha? So the NC3 covers four core competencies. Ano dun yun, no? Pag lumabas yung ating assessment certificate. So we have journalizing. This is where you record transactions in what we call the book of accounts. Every business activity has a corresponding journal entry. Yeah, so that is the basis of our financial statements. And then posting to the ledger. So after journalizing, you organize those entries by account. The ledger is like the master list of all your accounts. So mamaya, maintindihan natin kung ano yung mga yan. And then third is the trial balance. So this is the check. You add up all your debits and all your credits to make sure they're equal. If they are balanced, then that's good. If not, then there's an error somewhere. And then finally, and ito yung pinakamalaking bulk ng NC3 bookkeeping, preparing the basic financial statements. So you prepare the basic financial statements, and these are very important documents that show the financial health of the business. So that, in a nutshell, is what you will be certified in. So Now let's talk about MRA or Mutual Recognition Agreement. Ano ba yung MRA? So an MRA is a formal agreement between countries to recognize each other's professional qualifications. Lalo na nung nagsimula na yung ASEAN, 2015 consolidation, this became very important for our Filipino workers. So instead of a Filipino worker going abroad and having to retake all their exams from scratch, the host country says, okay, we accept your TESDA certificate, you're qualified. So here's how it works in simple terms. So you earn your NC here in the Philippines, NC1, NC2, NC3, NC4, and then TESDA certifies your skills, and then the partner countries, and especially ASEAN members, they accept that certification. And then you can work abroad without having to retest. So the Philippines is a signatory to the ASEAN Mutual Recognition Agreements, and this is especially relevant for accountancy and accounting support services, which includes bookkeeping. So therefore, your NC3 isn't just a local document, it has international weight. So important din dito to say is that, halimbawa, hindi naman ako mag-abroad, so ba't ko siya kailangan? So it's actually very important nowadays, especially since alam naman sa Philippines, there's not a lot of work to go by, and sometimes it really pays for you to be certified in a skill. Siyempre, kailangan may competency level assessment ka, no? And it has to be done outside. Hindi po pwedeng sa resume mo lang sasabihin mo, okay, marunong ako nito, marunong ako nito. Whatever that is, no? Carpentry, welding, whatever. Marami po yan, no? And so NC3, hindi naman matetest agad itong bookkeeping skills unless nadudun ka na. So companies would technically, not hire you because you say so na meron kang qualifications. Kailangan meron kang certification. And the highest, of course, in every country would be the competency level na national certificate. So why should you get, again, your NC3? Okay? So, bakit ka magbabother to get your NC3? So, let me give you 6 solid reasons. So, first, number one, it's a government-recognized credential. Hindi lang to isang certificate from some training center, as I said. No? It is issued with government authority. So, employers know and trust it. Number two, okay? So may nag-open siya ng job opportunities. Many companies, especially in BPO, small and medium businesses, government agencies, specifically they look for NCs when hiring bookkeeper. Now, lalo ngayon may mga virtual assistant, may lalo sa ibang bansa, no? So they need this certification to more or less cut to the chase of, wala tayong bulan, marunong ka ba nito o hindi. No? So pag meron kang NC, it kind of cuts everything, and you can easily convince the other, the company hiring na marunong ka talaga niyan kasi na-assess ka talaga ng third party, and it's not just any third party, it's the government that, assessed you. Okay, number three, yung nga, sabi nga natin, working abroad, we just talked about MRA, yung NC natin gives you the credential to work in, lalo na in an ASEAN partner country without having to recertify. It's being recognized all over the world. Tapos ngayon, di ba, siguro narinig nyo na yung ASEAN engineer. So, nagkaroon na rin ng talks about ASEAN accountant. So, yung ASEAN bookkeeper or whatever, all of these, hindi naman natin kailangan gawin yun eh. Kasi, pag ikaw ay merong NC, you are technically a world-class bookkeeper because you can do bookkeeping. Dahil pareho lang naman yan all over the world. So, it convinces whoever is hiring na you can do the job well. Okay? So, next is career advancement. So, NC3 is a stepping stone. From here, you can go to higher NCs, So, of course, sa bookkeeping hanggang NC3 lang. But, of course, in other TESDA certification, like you have automotive certification, automotive servicing sa Toyota dati, ang ginagawa namin dyan is merong NC1, NC2, NC3, NC4. No? So, pataas yan. Although sa bookkeeper, iisa lang naman yung NC, but then eventually, who knows, pag na-package natin to into a certain competency, no? Like may mga non-training regulations na isinasama nila yung multiple NCs para mag-qualify into a job. So, kasama siya sa NC, no? So, yan yung pwede nating gawin eventually for career advancement, no? Well, in a way, yung ibang mga naging client namin dati na nagre-review for CPA or even CPAs na they still take NC3 kasi ang CPA natin, it does not hold water abroad, right? Hindi naman yan kilala sa Singapore, sa US. Pero yung NC3 bookkeeping, kilala siya. So kahit na ikaw ay CPA na, for example, you may want to still get certified sa sa NC3 bookkeeping. Higher pay, okay, plain and simple, certified workers earn more than uncertified ones. It's proof that you know what you are doing. Okay, number 6, professional confidence. There's something powerful about having your skills officially validated, especially by a third party. It's good to have your certification, lalo na with the government. It's good for your self-esteem and your professional image. So there you have it, 6 very good reasons to pursue your NC3. All right, so that was phase number 1. So now we shift gears to phase 2. So we're going to talk about the actual basis of accounting. Don't worry if you have never studied accounting before. We will keep this very simple and very practical. We will cover debits and credits, the accounting equation, and then we'll go through the main types of accounts, assets, liabilities, and capital. Okay, let's go. Okay, so debit and credit. So dito, you have to listen very carefully because this slide really captures the basic of what we are trying to do. So this is the foundation of everything in bookkeeping and of course even in accounting. So lahat ng transaction, every single transaction in accounting, everyone affects at least two accounts. No? So, and we record both sides using debit and credit. So now many people get confused because in everyday life, when you say credit, it means you have money, right? And then debit means you're spending it. So you have to forget that for now. No, lalo na kasi ang nakikita natin yung mismong passbook natin no sa bangko, pag binigay sa atin yung ating account, sabi niya, "Sir, may credit po kayo." So ang ibig sabihin may dagdag, no? So kasi nga yung pinapakita sa atin is the journal entry of the bank from their perspective. Kasi sa kanila, yung credit is accounts payable. So kasi nga deposit natin yun sa kanila, right? So again, all of those, forget that for now. So basta tandaan natin, pag sinabi nating debit and credit, sa ngayon it just simply means left and right, no? So debit, ang kanyang abbreviation is DR, is the left side of the account, and then credit is the right side. So ganito yung rule niya. So left side, yung debit, nag-i-increase siya ng asset and expenses. So basta ang ating ang ating account ay asset or expense account, pag nag-debit ka doon, magtataas siya. So like, naka-receive ka ng cash, so debit cash, kasi dadagdag yung cash. Naka-receive ka ng dumagdag, for example, bumili ka ng inventory, bumili ka ng merchandise. So, dagdag yung inventory, dagdag yung merchandise, therefore, debit yun. Right? Expense. Okay? Nagkarga ka ng gasolina. Debit expense. Kasi dumagdag yung expense. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, ang debit, pag dinebit mo naman yung liabilities and yung capital, ibig sabihin nun, babawasan siya. So, it decreases the liabilities and capital. So, halimbawa, meron kang liabilities. Okay? So, accounts payable. Meron kang utang. So, nakalagay accounts payable, bank. Okay? Credit syempre side yun. No? Pag dinebit mo yun, debit 10,000. Ang ibig sabihin nun, nagbawas ka sa liabilities ng 10,000. Okay? Nagbawas ka sa credit. Syempre, may katapat din yung sa kabila. No? So, ayan. Mamaya natin pag-uusapan yun. O kaya, capital. No? Nag-debit ka sa capital. So, ano yung mga capital? Equity, shareholders equity, okay? Retained earnings, ayan, yung mga earnings na na-accumulate na ng company through the years. Pag dinebit mo yon, meaning, um, nagbawas ka, no? So, maaring nag-issue ka ng dividends or loss ka, whatever, di ba? So, yun yung mga nangyayari. Kaya, dinedebit natin yung capital. So, on the other side naman, dun sa kanan, yung credit, yan yung right side of the account. So, it increases liabilities in capital. So, baliktad lang actually if you will look at it. No? So, if you will maybe tend to forget things, ito lang ang tandaan natin, okay na tayo. Okay? So, ang credit increases liabilities in capital. So, pag nag-increase ka ng liabilities, so for example, no, uutang tayo sa bangko ng 10,000. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin? Utang ko sa bangko ng 10,000. So, ano madadagdagan? Siyempre, madadagdagan ng liabilities natin. Kasi dati wala tayong utang. Ngayon, meron na. So, credit, accounts payable, bank, yeah, 10,000. Okay? So, siyempre, kailangan mabalanse yun. Teka, bakit ganun? Credit lang. So, siyempre, yung credit, since ikaw nangutang, ano madadagdag sa'yo? Hindi malamang madadagdagan ang account mo, right? So, debit, cash in bank. No? Kung doon nila ready. O kaya, debit, cash on hand. Kung binigay niya sa'yo ng cash, di ba? So, yun lang siya eh. Ganun lang siya. So, binabalansi lang natin siya lagi. No? So, nag increase siya ng liabilities and capital. Ayan, halimbawa, kumita tayo, no? So, napunta siya sa shareholders earnings. Okay, credit mo yung shareholders earning. Kasi yung capital ay nasa credit side. So, lahat ng increase sa capital is credit. Pag dinebit mo naman yan, no? So, nag-credit ka ng asset, nag-credit ka ng expense, ang ibig sabihin nun, pabawas yun, no? So, ang credit will decrease an asset or decrease uh, an expense. No? So, parang baliktad, no? Halimbawa, dati in-expense mo, no? So, ito may mga reversal kasi sa accounting, no? Halimbawa, nag-declare mo sa dati as expense. No? Expense fuel, for example, no? 3,000. Okay? So, syempre, una muna, debit expense, no? Kasi nilagay mo siya sa expense. Ngayon, na-realize ng company na, teka, hindi sa atin to. Okay? Personal yan ni George. No? So, anong gagawin ng company ngayon? Okay, George, bayaran mo yung ano natin, yung gastos natin ng fuel kasi napunta sa sasakyan mo yan. Okay? So, anong gagawin ni George? Mabayad siya ng cash, di ba? Okay, mabayad ako ng cash, 3,000. So, ano nangyari? Nadagdagan ka ng cash, therefore, debit, cash, right? Ano yung nabawasan or credit? Credit, expense. Kasi dati in-expense natin siya, 3,000, fuel, i-reverse mo lang siya, credit expense. Another one, credit asset, ibig sabihin nun, bawas. Yun nga, halimbawa, meron tayong inventory, ibig sabihin inventory, nandiyan dyan sa ating merchandise, nasa ating warehouse, okay? Pag kinredit mo yon ang ibig sabihin, nabawasan yung asset, no? So, ito, gamit na gamit to syempre sa depreciation, nababawasan yung value, no? Pero hindi na tayo nag-credit asset dyan, no? Credit, accumulated depreciation. So anything na bawas sa asset is credit. Bawas sa cash, no? So nabawasan tayo ng cash, nagbayad ka ng credit card, o di ba? Anong entry no? Nabawasan ng cash mo, o di credit, cash. Ang isa pa dito is of course yung income, no? Sales would be syempre katapat ng asset yan sa kabila, no? Debit. Debit kasi expenses, 'di ba? So sa credit sales, credit income. Ganyan, no? Okay, so ganun lang siya. Basta don't worry if you get confused, no? So the previous slide natin. It sounds like a lot, diba? But we'll make it clear as we go through each type of the account. The key rule is debit left ang credit right. Ganun lang siya kasimple as of now. No? So now we are in the accounting equation. So all of bookkeeping is built on one simple equation. So before we go to the individual accounts, establish natin muna to. No? Asset equals to liabilities plus capital. So this equation must always be balanced. always, no? If you do a transaction and the equation no longer balances, then something is wrong. So let's define the three parts. Yung asset is what the business owns. So yung normal balance niya, di ba, is debit. So it increases with debit. So remember, lahat ng pag-aari ng company ay asset. Okay? So basta tingnan nyo lahat ng nasa paligid ng company ninyo, no? Building, kung sa kanya yung building, okay, yung phone, lahat yan, equipment, office supplies, lahat yan asset. Cash, syempre sa bangko, lahat yan asset. Okay? So liabilities naman is what the business owes. O dito minsan nagkakamali-mali dito, no? Nagkakamali-mali dito sa sa liabilities na to. Kasi minsan nalilito yung mga tao on the personal focus, no? Yung personal, yung parang point of view, no? So, halimbawa, um, lalo na pag sole proprietorship, no? So, pag halimbawa, kumuha ka ng pera sa kaha, minsan nililito sila, kumuha, o nadagdagan ako ng pera. Actually, ikaw personally nadagdagan, pero yung business, remember, ito ay journal entry ng business mo, hindi ikaw. So, minsan na pinaghihiwalay dapat talaga natin yung personal eh. So, halimbawa, nagbayad ka ng kuryente. Diba? Ano nga, nagbayad ka ng kuryente. Actually, kuryente yon ng yung personal na, na bahay or whatever. So, di ba? Yun ay expense mo. Pero yung company, hindi niya account yun eh. So, dapat sa company, accounts receivable yun ng company kasi kinuhanan mo siya ng cash. Right? So, tandaan natin, lahat ng ito, ang perspective nito is the company, not you. Okay? Not the person. Kaya pag sabihin, oh, kumuha ng pera na nag-ano ako, nag-petty cash, o nasa akin naman yung pera, di therefore, debit asset, debit cash. Hindi. Credit niya yun. Nawala ng company. Napunta sa'yo. So, therefore, yun. Yun yung ano natin dyan. Ha? Dapat tandaan natin maigi yan. So, yung what the business owes, business yun. Okay? So, yung credit yung kanyang normal balance, and syempre, nag increase siya with credit. Yung capital naman, yan yung owner share. No? So, nung ako nag-take ng bookkeeping, ano lang siya eh, personal, yung parang ano lang siya, sole proprietorship. So, ang capital is just your name. So, Atento, shareholders, capital, or ako, sorry, Atento, capital, no? So, George Atento, capital. Ganun lang siya, di ba? Ngayon, pag ito ay corporation or partnership, so, lalagay mo yung partners. Okay, capital. O kaya, ilalagay mo shareholders equity. So, meaning, marami yan. Corporation, shareholders equity. Ayan, ha? So, pati earnings, nando doon, no? Yung mga retained earnings, dyan yan nasa capital. So, credit yung kanyang normal balance, therefore, it increases with credit. And then, vice versa, it decreases with debit. Okay, let's go now to assets, no? So, let's now look at the asset column, no, in more detail. So, itong current asset, these are the assets that can be converted to cash within 1 year. So anyway, yan yung definition ng current asset. So ang cash, andyan dyan kasi either nasa kamay mo, money on hand, or nasa bank. Kaya dito, ang aking nare-recommend usually sa aking mga hawak na company, dapat mag-declare kayo ng tinatawag na petty cash o kaya revolving fund na nasa office, no? So kasi ang hirap hindi mo siya i-declare kasi hindi mo nalalaman kung nasaan na yung cash. So pag hinahanap mo, teka, inano natin yan. So mahirap mag-record, 'di ba? So ang nangyayari sa iba, ang binabalanse lang nila yung nasa bangko. Paano yung nasa office? So yun, 'di ba? So talagang dapat mayroong ganun. So either yun nga, cash on hand. Actually, pag sinabi mo kasing cash on hand, napaka confusing. Kasi cash on hand nino, lalo na kung yan ay corporation. So, dapat nakadeclare kung ano yung on hand. So, di ba, kung sa bangko dati, meron kami tinatawag na cash in vault. Okay? So, cash in vault kasi nasa vault. Okay? So, dapat may deklarasyon na ganun. No? So, cash o petty cash o kaya revolving fund na dapat na-declare natin nasaan yun, no? Para malalaman natin yun yung babalansehin natin. So, pag bumawas na yun, ayun, nire-replenish natin siya. So, yun yung cash. Okay? Susunod naman is the accounts receivable. Pag accounts receivable, ito yung mga amount na owed by the customers to us. So, nagbenta tayo, meron tayong service na ginawa, right? Hindi pa sila bayad. So, momentarily, nasa accounts receivable siya. Huwag niyo i-record na, okay, na-record natin, okay? Meron tayong service. Okay, hindi, magbabayad naman yan after 5 days. O kahit pa magbabayad siya after 5 days, the fact na hindi siya nagbayad dun sa time na ginawa mo yung service or nagbenta ka, i-record mo dapat siya as accounts receivable kasi mas madaling mag-trace pag ganun, no? So, ilalagay mo sa accounts receivable, tapos, so mag-income, income ka na kagad dapat nun, no? Or sales, di ba? So, ganun dapat talaga eh. Okay? So, but dapat i-record natin yung accounts receivable. So, pag nag-deliver ka ng goods or service, hindi pa sila bayad, yan, receivable. Notes receivable. Ito, yung notes receivable ay may formal written promise to pay. Kaya usually, pag mga notes receivable, notes payable, usually sa bangko to eh. So, nagbabayad ka sa bangko, meron kang loan na pinirmahan, promissory note, yun. Merong pirmahan, yan, notes receivable. Merchandise inventory naman, usually, pag nagbebenta ka ng retail goods, ito yung nasa nasa iyo, on hand, and ready to sell. Mga goods for sale. Yan, merchandise inventory. Doon sa original na NC3 bookkeeping, yan, ako gamit na gamit tong merchandise inventory. Kasi ano lang sila eh, retail at saka sole proprietorship. Okay? O, tapos meron pa tayong mga tinatawag na prepaid expense. No? So marami naman to actually. No? So example lang mga binigay ko dito. Prepaid expense are expenses paid in advance. No? Like prepaid rent. No? So halimbawa, tayo ng business. Di ba? Meron niyang mga 6 months deposit. Then, 2 months deposit, 2 months advance. Ayan. Yung deposits is actually a prepaid expense. Siyempre, hindi mo siya ilalagay sa prepaid expense. Lalagay mo deposits. No? Deposits for rental deposits. Eh may advance ka pa, advances. Ayun. Kaya lahat yon ay receivable. So meron ka ng deposits, meron ka pang advance. Okay, so ganun yan. Kaya siya tinatawag na prepaid expense. So parang yung prepaid account natin, no? May laman siya 300 pesos, 500. Unti-unti siya nababawasan, di ba? So pero sa umpisa, asset siya muna. Hindi pa siya expense, hindi pa siya na nagagamit, no? So once na bawa at the end of 15 days, titingnan mo na naman ulit o whatever dati sa RFID, naglagay ka ng 10,000, hindi naman agad expense yun, right? So titingnan mo siya, ano na balance ng ating RFID? 15 days na. O 5,000 na lang po. Okay, 5,000. Dati nagsimula tayo 10,000. So ano expense mo? 5,000. Yung prepaid expense mo, bumawas ng 5,000. Ni-recognize mo na ngayon siya. Diba? So ganun yung ano. So bawat galaw, merong ang entry. Okay? Tapos supplies. Siyempre, yung supplies, yun yung mga office, o kaya store supplies on hand. So meron pang iba yan, no? Meron pang equipment yan, meron pang land, yan, building andito sa kanan, no? So yan, sabagay current asset lang tong building na natin sa kaliwa. So lahat po ng current asset is yung usually ang tawag natin is yung kayang i-liquidate, no? Within 1 year. Ayan, so kaya current asset kasi yun, madali siyang liquidate. Doon sa non-current asset, usually mga fixed asset, yun yung mga sinasabi natin kanina na land, building, equipment. Kasi equipment, um, hindi siya current kasi nga usually meron kang depreciation, ano pa diyan, schedule, no? 5 years usually. Yung machine, yung mga tools used in operation, long term yan eh. Kaya siya non-current. O tinatawag siya natin na fixed asset. Okay? Vehicles, yan, yung mga office furnitures, mga shelves, furnitures and fixtures yan. Vehicles kasi ang depreciation niya mas mahaba, di ba? Building, yung land niya, hindi na-depreciate. Siyempre, wala naman depreciation yan. Hindi rin siya ina-appreciate kasi pag na-recognize mo yung appreciation, magiging income yun. So, therefore, magta-tax ka. So, nakalagay lang sa land. Pero at least, yan ay nakalagay sa ating uh, accounting statement natin. Okay, next is liabilities. Ano yung liabilities? These are the business, tandaan natin na obligation ng business, what the business owes to others. So, accounts payable, yan yung opposite ng accounts receivable. Ito yung mga bagay na we owe our suppliers. Yan, no? So, opposite yan ng accounts receivable. Amounts owed to suppliers for goods and services purchased on credit. So, pag bumili ka something on credit from a supplier, accounts payable yon. Pag hindi mo pa siya binabayaran, you owe them, right? Notes payable, again, meron kang written loan agreement. So, usually, bangko to, no? So, you borrowed money and then you signed a promissory note, PN. Ayan, notes payable yan. Meron din tayong mga accrued, no? Accrued liabilities. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Mga expenses ito na-incur mo na, na recognize mo na expense, pero hindi pa binabayaran, no? O, halimbawa, salaries payable. Yan. Salaries payable, ibig sabihin, babayaran mo pa lang, pero ina-accrue mo na. Like, halimbawa, yung 13 months pay, di ba? Sa 13 months, sa dulo mo pa yan babayaran. Pero usually kasi sa accounting, we want more or less na unti-unti nire-recognize mo na siya para hindi siya biglaan. Kasi ayaw na sa business yung biglang may mga spike yung expense, bigla na lang tumaas. Bakit? Lalo na sa December, no, biglang tumataas. Kasi nga, kung tutuusin, dapat yan, in-expense mo na yan every month. No? Kaya nga, even ang retirement, dapat yan, naglalagay na ng expense account ang mga companies para siyang accrued liabilities. Hindi naman talaga siya tunay na utang, pero parang inahanda mo na siya dahil eventually, ibabayad mo yan. Utilities payable, hindi na ito masyadong ginagamit, utilities payable. Pero kung meron tayong utilities na like every quarter lang magbayad or whatever, no, syempre kailangan mag-accrue ng liabilities. Accrue means parang unti-unti mo na siyang pinoprovide. Okay? Ang pinakamaganda example dito, withholding tax eh. Yung mga withholding tax payable sa BIR, right? Halimbawa, end of the quarter ka pa magre-remit, okay? Income tax. Nadulo pa yan. So, magwi-withhold ka na ng tax. Di ba? Kaya may mga form tayo sa accounting. So, bini-withhold na yan. Tapos, eventually, ina-accrue mo yung liabilities. Pero, nandoon siya sa liabilities. Okay? Another one is unearned revenue. Nasa liability side siya, no? Unearned revenue, naka-receive ka na ng payments customer, pero yung service hindi mo pa na-deliver, no? Kaya unearned revenue kasi hindi pa siya talaga dapat i-recognize as income or sales. Pero binayaran na nila. Kaya kung tutuusin, payable yun. Payable yung service, right? Hindi mo dapat siya i-recognize pa. Okay? Kaya sa accounting mo, hindi pa yan income, right? Kasi yung pala sa provide yung service eh. What if nag-incur ka ng expense dun sa no, sa revenue na yon, 'di ba? Kaya dapat hindi mo siya muna na-recognize. Another one, syempre yung mga loans payable, ayan, yung tinatawag natin ng mga bank loans or borrowings due within or beyond 1 year. So, yan, dito nakahiwala yung loans ng bangko, no? So, loans payable. Pero kung yung notes mo ay maikli lang, may mga payable kasi sa bangko like bills discounted, no? Promissory note na 30 days lang. Ayan, no? So, yun, may promissory note yun, abawa, loan against PDC, mga post-dated check, notes payable yun, no? Pero hindi siya long term. No? So, usually pinaghihiwalay kasi nila yung entry sa bank. Pero kung tutusin, ganun din yan. No? So, pero sa NC3 bookkeeping, hindi ganito ka-complicated, no? So, accounts payable, notes payable. Wala na yung mga notes payable, loans payable. Mamimili ka na lang between the account kasi given na yung nakalagay na sa given yung magiging gagamitin mong mga account. Okay? So, liabilities, as we said, have credit, normal balance. So, pag kinikredit mo siya, tumataas siya, nag-increase siya. Pag dinidebit mo siya, nag-decrease siya. Okay, doon sa capital side naman, meron tayong owner's capital. So, yan yung pinaka-main equity account or main capital account. So, yung initial investment, nandiyan dyan. Accumulated profits of the owner, nandiyan dyan. No? So, pag sole proprietorship, dumadagdag lang dyan. Anyway, malalaman naman natin yon later on. Huwag mo nang isipin siya. Basta yung owner's capital is the capital na inilagay sa business. No? So, pag ito ay sole proprietor, nakalagay yung pangalan ng business owner dyan. Pag naman corporation siya, nakalagay shareholders equity. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, ayan, normal balance yan is credit. Okay? So, yung owner's drawing naman, or withdrawal, drawing is withdrawal. So, owner's drawing, pag yung owner nag-take ng money out of the business, yun yung kumukuha siya sa kanyang business for personal use, nire-record pa rin natin siya dyan. Nire-reduce nun yung capital, kaya siya ay debit balance. So naka-red siya, no? Red tag, or sometimes naka-enclose siya in parenthesis. Ang ibig sabihin niya, ang kanyang normal side ay, ang normal ano niya, balance is negative. No? Kasi nga drawing siya ng capital. No? So, nilalagay pa, ba't hindi na lang i-minus sa kabila? Para alam mo kung ano yung original mong capital, unang-una, kailangan yan, no? Sa BAR, kasi yun yung nakalagay sa'yo, nag-declare ka ng ito yung capital mo in the beginning. So, yung owner's drawing, ina-accumulate mo yun para malaman mo ilan na yung kinuha mo doon sa business. Okay, lalo na kung ito ay personal um, account. No? So, halimbawa, ito ay sole proprietorship, naka-declare yan ng ganyan. Of course, sa corporation, iba naman yung ginagawa natin. No? So, revenue and income, or revenue or income, earnings from sales or services, it increases the capital, and therefore, credit side yan. So, credit yung normal balance at nandiyan yan sa capital side. Expenses, although nandito siya dyan, ang kanyang normal balance is debit kasi nga yan ay bawas sa earnings, and therefore ito ay debit. No? Debit yung kanyang balance, or negative, or naka-enclose siya in parenthesis. Ayan. So usually ito, para mas malinaw, yung expenses sa yung revenue, nasa income statement yan. Kaya hindi na yan, para simplified, wala yan dyan, no? Pero pinapakita lang natin na yan yung side ng capital. Okay? So yung capital itself is credit, yung drawing and expenses are debit, and they work against the owner's equity. Okay, ito yung quick summary table, no? So, pwede nyo screenshot yan, pwede nyo, basta memorize nyo to, no? So, actually, hindi naman kailangan memorize, eh. It's just a logical thinking. Yan ang kailangan nyo lang dito, no? So, remember, yung normal balance is simply the side, debit or credit, that increases the account. So, halimbawa, yung normal balance, ang normal balance ng asset ay debit, right? Ang normal balance ng liabilities ay credit. Ang normal balance ng capital, shareholders' equity, ay credit. Ang normal balance ng drawing ay debit. Ang normal balance ng revenue, sales, or income, credit. Ang normal balance ng expenses ay debit. So, ayun dyan yung increase. So, syempre, nag increase sila same side. So, kung debit yung normal balance mo, debit din yung increase. Pag normal balance mo credit, credit din yung increase. Ganun lang siya kasimple. And then yung decrease will be the opposite side. So, example, no? Meron kang revenue, sales, no? Credit yan, normal balance. So, pag nagdagdagan ka ng sales, okay, may sales tayo ngayon. Increases with credit kasi credit yung kanyang normal balance. So, ang entry mo would be credit revenue or credit sales. Right? If you figure out mo na lang, ano yung debit? Nagbayad ba ng cash? Yes. O, di debit cash. Nagbayad ba? Ay, hindi. Next month pa daw siyang babayad. O, di debit, accounts receivable. Di ba? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Kung titinan mo, no? It's just that simple. So, yan. So, dapat i-memorize yung table na to. Sa bookkeeping, you will be using this every single day. No? So, actually, hindi mo nga siya, kung totoo, hindi mo siya kailangang i-memorize. Kailangan mo lang tandaan natin yung mga debit side, asset, di ba? Drawing, expenses. Ang credit side, liabilities, capital, revenue. Ganun lang. No? So, and then, increase, same side, decrease, opposite side. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Ganun lang ang gagawin natin dyan, no? So, basta lahat ng nasa, ano natin, asset, debit side. Alam mo, pag tagal mo na siyang ginagawa, yun, madali mo na siyang maiintindihan. Okay, and that's a wrap. You know? So let's do a quick recap of what we covered today. So sa phase 1, we talk about TESDA and what it is, ano yung bookkeeping NC3 and its 4 competencies, and the mutual recognition agreement. So bakit yung certificate mo will matter internationally, We also went through the 6 reasons why getting your NC3 is a smart career move. So sa phase 2 naman, we covered debit and credits, the foundation of all bookkeeping. We established the accounting equation, diba? Asset equals liabilities plus capital. And then we went through the main account types, yung asset, liabilities, and capital, including the normal balances. So ito ay beginning lang, no? So bookkeeping is a skill that you build over time, but everything comes back to these fundamentals, no? So yung mga susunod nating video, lalo na yung nandun sa ating LMS, explains this in detail. So this is just for the intro, and thank you for listening.